Melts. Ike, this is for you here, brother. You was wanting to know the difference between the Tanq and the Dimbot and dimensions and stuff, and what I liked about one and what I don't like about them, whatnot. So here you go, brother. First thing off is the Tanq is made to where you can run the wires up through the front here. I like that. Alright, the Dimbot is not. You have to, now I've made this one that way, but it don't come that way. You have to cut you a slot in the top here. It's got grooves cut in there. You just have to knock out one of the little rungs, and it'll work just fine then. So that's one plus the Tanq has over the Dimbot. The Tanq has 8mm arms. Okay, the Dimbot has 6mm arms. So the Tanq is better in that way. It's got thicker arms. Okay, but the Tanq only has the Tanq only has 1.95mm top plate, 1.67mm bottom plate. So not even 2mm bottom and top plate. I do not like that about it. Okay. The Dimbot, they tell you they have 4mm or 3mm, something like that, but they don't. It's got 2.90mm top plate, and the bottom plate's just mainly a square, but let's see here, 2.86, so not quite 3mm. So it's got a little bit thicker bottom and top plate, which is better. Okay. The next thing, let me think. Oh, the next thing is, I guess you'd call this a plus. I kind of like the aluminum cage, camera cage here that the Tanq has over the Dimbot. But I got to tell you, I don't see none of the, it works just as good, and you hardly ever hit anything dead center, or I do. So I don't see nothing wrong with this. But you do have props in view when you're flying around of the camera on the Dimbot. On the Tanq, you do not. You do not see the props, or at least you don't when I'm running a GoPro. Now, if I had a HD in here, I might be able to see them. I don't know, but since my GoPro is way up high and pointed upward, that may be one reason I don't see them. Okay. Another thing, the Dimbot, as you can see, I've got a full HD unit in here, a full air unit, fits in there nicely. Okay. On the Tanq, I'm almost positive there's no way in hell you're gonna get a full-size air unit in here. Now I think you could get a Vista, no problem, but not an air unit. So that's a drawback. What else? They both fly phenomenally. I mean, they both fly really, really good. And these feet, like I've printed here for the Tanq and for the Dimbot, they hold up a lot better than the feet that come on the Tanq if you print them right. And it don't hurt your airflow as much as you think it would, and it gives your motor a lot of protection because it comes way up on the side. But I designed those off the Dimbot design. That's the main things I can think of, Ike. They're both kind of what you call slammed quads. You know, they're not all that tall. I'm not sure, but I am pretty sure. To replace an arm on the Dimbot, you do have to, I think, remove the stack screw on whatever arm you're gonna replace. I'm pretty sure. On the Tanq, you do not. You don't have to. They just slide out. But one thing, the Tanq does not take a 20 by 20, it only takes a 30 by 30. And as you see, I had to go in here and drill holes and make mine take a 20 by 20 stack. Okay, so I had to modify the Tanq. I mean the Tanq. The dim bot, as you can see, it takes 30 by 30 or 20 by 20, so that's a plus. That's a really nice plus. And I think if you mount it 20 by 20 instead of 30 by 30, then you don't have to remove the stack screw to get the arm out. But I put a 30 by 30 in this one. Bo said, I'm sure if there's anything I missed, Bo will leave it in the comments, because I can't remember everything. But Bo said, wouldn't it be nice if we could have a baby from a Tanq and a dim bot and have the best of both worlds? Well, brother, let me introduce you to it right here. This is it right here. Let me just give you some dimensions on this bad boy. Check this bad boy out. Okay, the top and bottom plate, come on now, zero out. Wait a minute, we're not zeroed. Okay. The top plate is 3.99 millimeters, so might as well say 4 millimeters thick. Okay. I can't really well, yeah, here's the bottom plate. Bottom plate gonna be the same thing. 3.97 millimeters. Okay, and then it's got a sandwich plate here, and I've doubled it up, and that's going to be the same thing. It's going to be about 4 millimeters. Yep. So it's got a 4 millimeter sandwich plate down here. So the top, bottom, and sandwich plate is thicker than the Tanq or the dim bot. All right. The Tanq has 8 millimeter arms. The dim bot has 6 millimeter arms. This one has 10.15, or, well, might as well say 10 millimeter arms. 10 millimeter thick arms by 12 millimeters wide. So it's 2 millimeters thicker than even the Tanq. Okay. This sucker ought to be indestructible. This is the best of both worlds right here. This should be a badass son of a gun. Now I don't have it to where the wires can come up out of the top, but that's pretty simple fix. I'll just mill me out a little hole here if I decide to do that. But I was looking at it. The only problem is this is pretty small. There's not a lot of space in this one. So I'm pretty sure though I can get a Vista and a 20 by 20 stack in here. Oh yeah, this one does take a 20 by 20 or 30 by 30. But I've made it go only 20 by 20, and I've drilled these holes out to where when you put the screws in, they go all the way up to the bottom plate, and then they stop, and because otherwise I wouldn't have screws long enough to go through the whole thing. But they're supposed to be a standoff goes right here on both sides. I've removed it because it's pretty damn sturdy as it is. I can't get it to budge. Because by removing it, I believe I could get the Vista back here and a 20 by 20 stack here, or I could put the Vista here in the middle, since my cord probably ain't gonna be long enough to reach up here to the camera, and I can put my 20, because it's got 20 by 20 mounting in the rear too, so I can put my 20 by 20 stack in the back here. I have to kind of route my wires a little weird to go over to the VTX, but I mean, it's possible. Or if you ran it to analog, you wouldn't have no trouble getting you a VTX back there. So this is the shit right here, boy. This one's a nice one. Shit, I got Loctite all over this dude, man. I Loctited. I put really good screws in this one all the way through. One of those with the really good heads, and put extra long screws and everything, and I use Loctite on everything, heavily. And it's bolted all the way through, all over this thing. And when you put the motors on and bolt them, it's going to be even, I mean, I don't think there's going to be no break in this one, any which way. So I am tickled to death. I don't know what I'm going to name it though yet, because this is the best of both worlds here. want to print me some TPU stuff for it. And I love this little thing that I made yesterday. Now that I got these motors here on it, these little pancake motors, it actually does pretty good. And that's only 3-inch props. I do believe that when I get me some 3.5-inch props, it's going to make even more of a difference. I believe it's going to have a whole lot more power than it does now. Only problem is these motors is a lot harder on my battery than the Beetle. I can fly the Beetle around and the batteries don't even get hot when I land, and me flying it hard as I want to. When I fly this one around, these little 650s, they come down hot, and you only get about 1.5 to 2 minute flight time per battery. So that's not, I mean, that's back to the shape I used to be in, but you got a lot of down power. You just have to pay close attention to your voltage. I just can't seem to rest. I love this hobby too much. I got things to build and stuff to do it with now, and even though I know when I build some of this stuff I'm not going to be able to fly it, because I mean, I'd pretty much have to take all the air unit and all out of this one to swap into each quad as I build it, and I really don't want to do that. So I may just build up some of these drones and just let them sit for a while. But there should be a lot of stuff coming. Oh, and guys, I got a whole setup coming from Meps. I got an ESC, flight controller, motors, spare bells, props. I got all kind of shit coming this month from Mepsking. So I don't know. I'm either gonna build this one with the Mep stuff, or this CL1 with the Mep stuff. But I want to double the arms up on this one before I do, if I build this one with it. Hadn't made up my mind yet, guys. And then I don't know what I'm gonna build next month from them. Guys, I'm open to some trading now. On, let's see here, this frame. You can take like an air unit. I'm open to trading on this one for something. I don't know what. I'm open to trading on this aluminum one if you want to build it. It's kind of heavy, but man, it's tough as nails. I mean, if you put some like them little pancake motors on there, like I used on that other 3.5-inch, and put 3-inch props on it, you could carry. I mean, you could carry whatever you wanted to around on it. It would fly no problem, because it don't weigh that much more. It's just that I was running a GoPro up here. If you put a little Vista in it, it wouldn't weigh near that much, because you know I was running a 1300 Lipo on it and a GoPro, and it ain't really meant for a 1300 Lipo. It's meant for like a 650 or 800. And I got this whatever you call it, the Rooster. Now this is not an original Rooster, I don't think. This is a clone. I had an original one. I broke something on it. I ordered a clone. So this is probably a mixture of both. I don't remember. Anyway, guys, that's all open for trading, I guess. And I might be willing to trade my Marmont here, but I don't know if anybody would want it. I mean, let me explain to you what's going on with it. The top part of it's fine. I've got two frames put together, sandwiched together to make one. And what happened was, I broke the tip of the arm on this one. Just, you know, it didn't break it off, it just bent it. And so then I had to put another frame on, and I just doubled it up. And I can't tell. I think I did the same thing again and broke it right there again. In which what I should have done was took this bottom plate off and turned it around so it would have been on this other arm, and it would have been fine. But instead, I didn't think about it at the time. I just stuck another arm on here to give it support. But you'd have to totally build it. I mean, and it's kind of heavy because there's so many pieces of frame on this thing. But I guess I'd be opening to trade on that too. I don't know. Probably wouldn't nobody want that one though. Oh, and Ike, you was asking me, could I get my mama to let me turn this into my drone and YouTube room? And sorry, brother, but she ain't no way she'd let me. I'm lucky she's letting me work out of here at all. As you can see, I hope this shows up. It's kind of dark in here. She makes gravestone flowers, and she don't sell them or anything. She thought about it one time, but she don't. She just makes them, and for the family, we got a pretty big family, and they come down and they buy them from us. So she gets a little money for that, and so she makes some up a couple of weeks out of each year, and then just stores them in here. And then back here starts the all the flowers, where she just, she's got them stored to where she can pull out what she needs and to make whatever with, And then I got my drone, my setup right here that I film with. So brother, there ain't no way in hell she would let me do that. I'm lucky, like I say, I'm lucky I get to work out of here at all. Alright guys, that's it. Hope y'all guys have a great evening, and I'll catch you later.